Oh, yeah.
Thank you, NatureBox. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. My name is Scott. I'm joined by my host, Chris.
NatureBox.
My host, NatureBox. And we have a couple topics for you today. And the first one is our addiction to cell phone and the trend that is sweeping America like a plague.
That sounds scary.
It is scary. What gave me the idea is yesterday in band we got a chop break for about 10 minutes, and there's about 500 people in one small room. And about 5 minutes into the break, I stood up and looked around, and almost every single person had their phone out. And it wasn't like checking a message or putting it away. It was like they were glued to it. Like their face was deep in, whatever their concentration was, deep into whatever they're doing. And it was almost sickening. I put my phone away. I couldn't take it. It was oh god, it's horrible. I don't even know how to enunciate my words properly. That's how bad it was.
What's almost really weird is the fact that you bring that up, and earlier today, speaking of which, I'm on my phone right now, I found this. It talks, I know that Albert Einstein once said that technology is going to take over, and it's pictures of a day at the beach, and it has a family, but they're all on their phones, or cheering for your favorite team, and then it's just people looking at their phones instead of watching the game at a game, or on a date, and both people on the date aren't even talking.
I've seen that, and when I worked at IHOP for the past little bit, when people would be just by themselves or on a date or whatever, just two people, they would both be on their phones almost 8 out of 10 times. It was almost every single time, and it hurt to watch. It's instead of spending time with the person who I enjoy being with, who I love or whatever, I'm just gonna look at my phone because we're so invested in this virtual reality that it becomes our reality, which is really kind of sad. And I read something that I think it was about anxiety. We had a presentation about anxiety in one of our communications classes, and one of the subjects they talked about was the fact that our social media and phones and everything are giving people more. There's just one specific type of anxiety. I can't remember what the name of it is, but they're giving more people that type of anxiety because they're so glued to their phone and the online interactions that aren't real interactions. When they have a real reaction with a person, it takes them a second to process what they're saying and think about it and then say something. That's how much it's affecting people because they're so used to just responding instantly or whatever that they have to take a second, think how to have a real interaction with another human being. Which is sad. That's
ridiculous.
Really, really bad. Speaking of which, my phone just went off. So great. Turn that down.
I don't know. I'd like to think that I get on my phone, but I'd like to think that I don't get on it crazy. I know after a really hard day of work. Now, when I say that, I mean schoolwork. I consider college my work.
Oh, yeah,
a really hard day of doing stuff. Yeah, I'm going to want to come back and watch funny videos and, kind of almost close myself out of the world. But then at the same time, on days that I say I'm going to go back and play video games, I almost never play video games. Because I usually come into Scott's room and talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I would say college changes you. And I know it's weird to bring that up. Kind of my ADHD, kind of not. But, before I came here, I was always, go home, get on my phone, watch TV, play video games. Not watch TV, it'd be Netflix. Your boy's poor, don't have cable. So I wouldn't really do anything. But now that I'm here, I have an Enu, whatever the hell you guys
I call it Enu.
Me too.
And people have been correcting me. I'm so happy I found someone else that calls it Enu.
Yeah, give me 5. Woo! All right. So I have one of those. I have a LED Frisbee, which I would like to play sometime this weekend. We should do that. And I don't know. I do a lot more personal interaction. I do a lot more going outside. And I've been working out since I've been here too, which, by the way, has been pretty great. And it's a lot better than being on your phone or playing video games all day.
I think I don't know, I did this as a child, and it may be the last generation that does this, but my favorite thing to do ever after school, I would come home after school, and I would get a snack, and then I would go outside with my neighbors and
Like,
like play
directly.
immediately. Like,
Yeah.
it was to the point where Mom was like, "All right, you have to like finish your work before you can go." I was like, "Mom, please, I need to go outside. Like, I
Yeah.
have to go outside every single day. It didn't matter if it was raining, snowing, windy, cold, hot, whatever. We were outside, and our neighborhood's like surrounded by a lot of woods, so we would like go play in the woods and like have all these adventures. We would wander, like we would walk like miles away from our house on adventures, quote unquote adventures. And but all our parents were completely fine with it. We just sound like, we're going on an adventure, we'll be back a little later. Like, okay, great. But it's like, it's stuff like that that builds, and it sounds stupid, but it like builds character and like builds your imagination as a child. That is so important that when you become an older adult, you can use that creativity and imagination to problem solve. And it's so essential, people don't even realize it. But I feel like
I've never even thought of it that way.
it's important. But we're probably one of the last generations that ever did that, because now, which I hated, but people buy like iPads and tablets for their kids to keep them occupied and like quiet. Like, hell no. Every time I see like a toddler in like a car seat with a tablet, like, it pisses me off so much.
In the car?
Oh, well, no, not in the car.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You said car seat. I was getting kind of like
in the car, it's okay, but like when they're out, I've seen it like at the park, like
no. My kid, all right, that's got me on the soapbox right
I've told, I don't know how long Brianna and I are going to be together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who I'm with. I'm going to tell him our kid is never going to be that kid. He's going to be outside. He's going to be playing. He's going to be going on adventures. He's going to have a great time and build a lot of memories just because he is outside and having a good time.
Stress.
Your hair is literally falling out.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, like, I don't know, like going on to what Scott said, as my kid will not, no. My kid will go outside. Even if it's like a construction site, I'd be like, we're going to go play in the construction site.
We did that too. It's fun.
Oh, I've never done that. That sounds kind of sketchy.
It's fun.
That's so scary. Like, I'm actually worried about that because that's been going on for like a few months now.
Huh.
Yay.
He's talking about his hair falling out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I've been playing in construction sites for a few months. It's a pretty scary day.
All that radioactivity.
Oh god. But like, I think the only thing I'll ever buy to keep my kid occupied, like, other than toys for like imagination, I think I would buy a portable DVD player so that they can watch movies in the car on the way places. Yeah. Like that's probably it.
Yeah.
And it'd only be in use on the way to like far away. It would not be like on the way to the grocery store here watch a movie. No.
That's ridiculous.
Like 7th graders with iPhone 6s, that pisses me off.
It bothers me.
Like, you don't even know what they could be doing on there.
And it's important for children to be exposed to the world, but not in that way. The exposure to all the horrible, shitty things in the world happens way too quickly if they have a cell phone. And I don't think that sheltering your kid is the way to go, because we read articles on it in my rhetoric class, actually, and I learned about it. And that sheltering them is definitely not the way to go. That's not what I'm advocating for. But if you give them a phone when they're in 5th grade, they're going to learn a lot of things that they shouldn't learn before they have even thought or figured out what their penis does, stuff like that.
I mean, yeah.
That just bothered me so much. I have memories that I still have now, as I'm about to turn 19. I remember from when I was like 6 and 7 and 8, and all throughout elementary and middle school, playing outside and in the woods and in these adventures. I remember those memories, and they're so fond of me. I still remember them. We used to make guns and like staffs and just out of sticks.
It'd be the coolest thing.
There's sticks that we find in the woods, and that's what we used as toys. You don't need to buy them. You don't need batteries. You don't need a screen. Just use your imagination. We would have like magic fights, gun battles.
We've got to go play one day.
I know. Well,
you and me, Scott.
It's stuff like that kids are not going to experience anymore, because they're like, oh well, you're crying, or you're upset, so I'm going to give you a tablet to play with. That makes sense. That is.
I remember.
horrible.
Okay, so for me, I lived in Reach Apart. By the way, right down the road, it's right behind Cookout.
Yeah.
That's where my the entire childhood that you're talking about, coming home, getting a stack, and going to play, it was right there. So we'd come home, we'd get off the bus, and then I'd go in my house. I'd like go in the fridge and like maybe get like a Capri Sun and like grab some something like crackers
Cheez-Its or Pop-Tarts. That's usually what I did. Or
never,
cereal. I did that a lot.
I never got. I would just get like fruit snacks, like Walmart brand fruit snacks, poor. And so I'd eat fruit snacks, drink my little Capri Sun, and then I'd go outside, or like I would grab them and then go
As
outside,
you're going outside.
like shoving gummies in my mouth as I'm walking out the door, and and then we'd like either get on our bikes and like ride all around, or we'd grab a soccer ball and go kick soccer ball. But like there was no like limit. There was always something to do.
Oh, I never. That's another thing. Yeah. I don't ever remember being bored on a day after school. Ever. I don't remember coming home and like just wanting to be in my room and like be alone. I wanted to be outside with friends and like have fun. That was fun.
Yeah, the only time I ever remember being bored were on days that I was not allowed to go outside.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or like days, and it's so like my mom would ground me, and whenever I got grounded, it was grounded from going outside. It was not you can't watch TV. Yeah, it was not you can't play with your toys. It was you can't go outside, and that was the worst case scenario.
That was the worst punishment that could have possibly happened.
It was awful, and then all your friends like come to the door.
Yeah.
And then they knock on the door and you're up in your room. And like, well, for me, we had 2 stories, but it was like like it was so like it's a 1-story house stacked on each other. But they would come knock on the door and like I run to my mom's room window. Like I would look down, I'd see them all sitting there like knocking on the door, like, can he come play? No, he's grounded. And then they'd be like, oh.
Yeah, same. Well, usually my mom would be doing something upstairs, and our front door, and then we have a flight of stairs, and our kitchen is right there. And she would be making stuff before she went to work, so she would be there in the kitchen, so she could hear what was going on. And I'd open the door and be like, "Can you come out and play? Like we're gonna go do stuff. You want to come out and play?" And my mom would like peek around the corner, like look, so I could see her head when I turned. I was like, "No, my mom said I can't play today," and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then you're making sad eye contact as you're shutting the door and like crying on the inside a little. And then I could always hear them outside because they live right beside me. Like playing and playing. Like, having a great time, just like sitting in my room like that's exactly what happened every time.
This makes me want to go on a hike or like do something outside.
People don't. That's the thing. Kids are not going to experience that now, ever. They're not going to experience the sadness of the grounding being you can't go outside. Instead, I'm going to take your Instead of like your grounding is going to be I'm going to take your phone away for a couple days. That is crazy.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so my laptop has I think it's. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Okay, Google.
It's not
No,
it's
not.
okay. Ukella? Something. But I don't know what I said that I thought I was talking to. Anyway. Okay. But yeah. Do you have anything else to add on this subject?
Parents, if you listen, please take away the electronic stuff from your kids.
Don't need
Take their lamps out of their room. Or, for some reason, find a reason, their shoe wasn't tied tight enough and ground them from their electronics. Like, I swear, if, I don't know, like, I think every kid, if you're, like, in 10th grade and under, like, in 10th grade or in, I would even say, like, 11th grade and under, you should be grounded right now and stay grounded for like a week straight just so you can get some imagination going. Like ground yourself. Like just go outside and leave your phone inside and find something to do.
It feels now it feels good to just leave your phone. Like sometimes I just leave it in my room and go places. Yeah. That's fun.
Like whenever that I forgot what I was doing, but I don't know if you were there either. My phone had died And so I plugged it up, but everybody was about to go somewhere. I was like, I'll just leave it there. It's going to die. And, like, that was the best thing. Except for the few times, like, oh my God, like, freaking out. I'm like, okay, it's charging. I'm okay.
Right.
And then, like, once I realized it, but, like, that is the best thing ever. And, like, recently, the only time I bring my phone with me, well, my girlfriend lives off campus. She does not currently go to Western. Hopefully she will. But her name's JC Hauer. Oh, my God. Just because I know she'd get mad if I didn't say that. But that's the only way we can talk is to message each other. But other than me and her messaging, that's the only thing I use my phone for. Or I use it for taking pictures. Like, we went up to the lookout and I took, like, crazy pictures because it was so awesome.
Sweet.
But,
that would be a good day to do it because it's so quick.
It would be. We should go.
We gotta record these podcasts first.
I want to go for a walk real quick. It's not quick, but we could go.
Maybe. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the subject. Just please, if you're a parent or if you plan to become a parent later on, make your kid build an imagination. Let them go outside. Don't give them a phone when they're in 3rd grade. That could be the worst thing for them. And people, well, that's another thing. Just real quick. People are like, well, what if my kid needs me? They have phones in
Give
the
them
school.
a flip phone.
Oh, yeah, that or that. That's what I had in middle school. They have phones in school. They have a way to contact you. It'll be fine. Your little baby's not going to die in school. It'll be fine. So just keep track of that. Make sure your kid has an imagination. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I felt like it was a really good discussion.
Me too.
Yeah. But we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Sorry, doodle.